The counterfeit heiress intends to bestow upon me a black card capable of sweeping the globe. She conveyed her heartfelt desires to the entire family, stating, "All I seek is the love of my parents." In this life, I, an adept editor of inner voices, decided to append a phrase to the conclusion of her heartfelt expression. "If my sister does not accept me, then I shall take to the rooftop, spilling blood in protest, to declare my resolves." Upon hearing this, my parents' expressions changed dramatically, and without hesitation, they snatched the black card and thrust it into my hands. "Quickly accept it. This is your sister's heartfelt intention. You must not refuse." Observing the counterfeit heiress's pale countenance, I graciously accepted the offering. Since she delights in humility, I shall ensure that each of her humble gestures transforms into reality. 1. It is I who have usurped everything that rightfully belongs to my sister. Sister, you must accept this black card. As soon as the words left my lips, the unspoken thoughts of the faux heiress, Su Yunyun, followed closely behind. I want nothing, I only desire the love of my parents. Yet this time, I silently appended a sentence to her thoughts. If sister does not accept it, it means she does not acknowledge me. I shall go to the rooftop now, spill my blood, and make a declaration with my death. Hearing her thoughts, our parents and brother were taken aback. Immediately, my mother snatched the black card from her hand and firmly pressed it into mine. "Xiao Qiu, accept it. This is your sister's intention. Do not refuse." My mother's tone was resolute. It seemed that my audaciously altered phrase about spilling blood had frightened her. I feigned reluctance, insisting that it was too precious for me to accept. My brother, who had maintained a cold demeanor since we returned home, also urged me, "Just take it. Stop pushing it away." Su Yunyun's eyes widened in disbelief. Her act of humility did not earn her the praise of being understanding and kind. Instead, her tactical retreat resulted in a direct withdrawal of her own black card. The perfect mask she wore cracked for the first time. A surge of satisfaction welled within me as I gracefully accepted the card. Clearly, Su Yunyun was not content. She quickly adjusted her expression, donning a look of feigned generosity. "Sister has returned. I should give you the spacious room I occupy, which has a private bathroom and balcony. I can just move to the guest room." I lowered my gaze, anxiously twisting the hem of my clothing. "There's no need, Yunyun. I have grown accustomed to smaller rooms at home. I can find a corner to sleep in. It truly does not matter." Su Yunyun's thoughts resurfaced. Sister has told me several times how she envies my large room and loves it dearly. Alas, it does not matter. After all, I am not the biological daughter of the Su family, and enduring some hardship is only to be expected as long as sister is happy. A thought crossed my mind, and I swiftly added a malicious embellishment to her inner monologue. Otherwise, without the identity of the Su family's heiress and the support of our wealthy parents, I cannot endure the hardships of the impoverished. What is the point of living? This altered thought echoed violently in the minds of our parents and brother. Their brows furrowed deeply, and as they gazed at Su Yunyun, their expressions sharpened significantly, as if they were truly seeing their pampered daughter for the first time. My brother, Su Lang, reacted more directly, his bias glaringly evident. "Su Xiaoqiu, Yunyun is frail and innocent. She has never experienced such hardship. Although she sincerely offered it to you, you still." He implied that I should not take advantage of her kindness. I lifted my head to interrupt him. "Brother, when I was at home, winters were cold and summers were hot. I did not have my own room and always slept by the stove in the kitchen. Just being able to return home and have a place to shield me from the elements is enough for me. The size of the room is unimportant. In my past life, I did indeed endure hardships in my adoptive parents' home, but sleeping in the kitchen was somewhat exaggerated. Yet at this moment, combined with Su Yunyun's altered thought, which looked down upon the struggles of the poor, the impact of my words was magnified exponentially. My mother's eyes reddened, a flicker of guilt and heartache crossing her face. My father, with a cold determination, declared, "Since Yunyun no longer wishes to stay in that room, it shall be given to Xiao Qiu. From now on, it will be her room." Su Yunyun opened her mouth, intending to protest, but found herself at a loss for words. That night, I lay in the spacious bed, checking the limit on the black card. The long string of zeros nearly made me burst into laughter. 2. In my previous life, Su Yunyun, with her duplicitous thoughts, repeatedly forced me into dire straits. She would feign generosity, claiming that she would let me have what I desired, while in her heart, she saw only money. The entire family fell under her spell, believing me to be greedy and cruel, always competing with her. I languished under the disdain of my family and the bullying of my classmates, ultimately leaping from the rooftop to escape my torment. Thankfully, fate granted me a second chance, endowing me with the ability to alter her thoughts. If she enjoys feigning humility, then I shall play her game and transform her hypocritical words into reality. She wishes to offer me the black card? Very well, I shall accept it. She wants to relinquish her room? Excellent, I shall graciously accept. The following morning at breakfast, Su Yunyan struggled to swallow her food. Sister, it's your first day at school. The driver must drop you off at the most conspicuous entrance, so everyone can see you. This way, no one will dare to bully you, knowing you are the legitimate daughter of the Su family. A look of resolute understanding flitted across her face. I will take the subway myself. Su Lang immediately supported her. Yunyan, you are also a daughter of the Su family. There's no need to cater to anyone. With your brother here, no one is allowed to look down on you. He shot me a pointed glance. I heard her thoughts. Seeing sister makes me feel truly inferior. Although we are not lacking in money, I am not of Su blood. I must learn to be frugal. She intended to label me as the oppressive foster daughter on the very first day of school. I appended a venomous remark to her thoughts. Taking the subway will let everyone know that Su Xiaoqiu is bullying me. Those boys in class will definitely feel sorry for me. Upon hearing this, my parents' fleeting guilt from yesterday vanished entirely. My father coldly stated, "If you wish to experience the subway, then go ahead." My mother turned to me, adding more food to my plate. "Xiaoqiu, if anything happens at school, you can always count on your father and me for assistance." I obediently replied, "All right, thank you, mother." Seeing that no one paid her any heed, Su Yunyan ultimately had no choice but to grit her teeth and take the subway. Su Lang, who consistently looked down upon me, sneered and accompanied Su Yunyan on the subway. How splendid! The train became my private carriage. I arrived at school early, while she and Su Lang nearly arrived late. She deliberately wiped the thin layer of sweat from her forehead and shared her experience with the boys seated near her. Oh dear. There were so many people on the subway today, I almost arrived late. Several boys cast disdainful glances at me, their expressions filled with contempt. She must have primed them beforehand about her tragic plight as the faux heiress. Some people truly forget their own worth once they ascend the social ladder. Yunyan, you are simply too kind. After just a few days back, you flaunt your status as a young lady and bully others? Su Yunyan quickly waved her hands, anxiously defending me. No, you all misunderstand my sister. I insisted on taking the subway. It has nothing to do with her. She has just returned and is not used to sharing. Her innocent thoughts surfaced at the right moment, but it seems that mom and dad do not protect me as they used to. I envy Su Xiaoqiu for easily taking everything from me. Am I no longer loved? It makes me so sad. Upon hearing her thoughts, the boy's expressions of compassion intensified. With a flick of my mind, I added a cruel layer to her lament. Humph. Hurry up and play the victim so that this group of boys will follow my every command, then I can deal with Su Xiaoqiu later. In an instant, the boys who had initially been outraged froze, their gazes shifting from warm sympathy to indignation at being humiliated. They dispersed, leaving Su Yunyan to feign weakness and attempt to engage them, but to no avail. The venomous glare she cast in my direction was filled with resentment, while I merely smiled serenely at her. 3 at noon, in the school's upscale cafeteria, I was dining alone when Su Yunyan approached me, her eyes red-rimmed and her tray in hand. With a humble voice, she implored, "Sister, could you possibly lend me some living expenses? I donated all my previous funds to impoverished students, and now I am nearly out of money for meals." Her words immediately stirred sympathy among several classmates nearby, as the faux heiress found herself ruthlessly suppressed by the true heiress. Such topics can easily inspire a novel in the minds of many. A poverty-stricken male student, who often receives small acts of kindness from Su Yunyan, stood up.
Su Siakwi.
You have gone too far. Yunyan is so kind. How can you force her like this? Su Yunyan felt a sense of pride within her, and the system's inner voice echoed once more. I have donated all my pocket money to those in need, willing to endure hunger just to see those underprivileged students have the opportunity to study. All of this is worth it. attempting to establish the persona of a benevolent angel while morally shackling me. I set down my chopsticks and, following her heartfelt declaration, added a statement that would shatter her carefully crafted image. Ha, did you see that? The moment I show a hint of weakness, these impoverished students leap forward like loyal dogs to defend me. Life is truly as simple as a flick of the wrist. The very student who had just passionately defended Su Yunyan turned pale in disbelief, his eyes widening as he stumbled out of the cafeteria amidst the peculiar gazes of his classmates. Su Yunyan was utterly bewildered. She could not comprehend why every time her heartfelt thoughts were revealed, they led to an outcome so detrimental to her. After school, I finished my homework and headed to the kitchen for some fruit. As I passed Su Lang's room, I overheard this pair of siblings whispering, "Brother, I truly believe there is something off about Su Xiaoqiu. I have only ever wished her well in my heart. Why have Mom and Dad been so cold to me lately? Yunyan, didn't you ask her last time? I know you dislike Su Xiaoqiu, and so does Brother. But last time, didn't you give her the black card and say that if she refused, you would jump off a building?" No, Brother. How could I ever think that way? I love my family too much to consider suicide. Could it be that she distorted your true feelings? How could my sister be so vicious, Brother? What should I do? I'm so scared. Don't worry, we will try her again. I will definitely help you drive her away. I thought. I had assumed my brother Su Lang merely shared a deep sibling bond with her. Now it seems he has been enchanted by Su Yunyan's beguiling charm. He clearly knows this outsider is targeting his sister, yet instead of intervening, he eagerly aids her, willingly becoming her pawn. Since this is the case, I must refrain from acting impulsively. Su Yunyan has faced setback after setback. She is surely beginning to suspect that I have meddled with her heartfelt thoughts. She will undoubtedly concoct a grand scheme to test me next. Therefore, I shall play along with her game until the end. From this day forth, I shall be the epitome of an innocent and harmless little sister. I will believe everything she says and cooperate with whatever performance she puts on. I must let her think she holds all the cards before delivering a decisive blow. When dinner time arrived, I was about to descend from the second floor when I saw Su Yunyan hurriedly step ahead of me. Just as she reached the last few steps, she suddenly slowed down and said to me, "Sister, you don't need to worry about me. Just pretend I'm not here. I absolutely want to affect your status as the beloved daughter." Her words set off alarm bells in my mind, and I was curious to see what act she would put on next. Suddenly, a shriek pierced the air as she lost her balance and stumbled sideways. Almost simultaneously, Su Lang returned with our mother, witnessing the entire scene. "Yunyan!" our mother exclaimed as she rushed over. Su Yunyan's eyes shimmered with tears, her voice quivering. "Sister, I'm sorry. It was my fault for being careless and not standing steady. It really has nothing to do with you." Although her words seemed to absolve me, they drew everyone's attention to me. Su Lang quickly knelt beside Su Yunyan, asking, "Are you alright? Where did you hurt yourself?" "I think my ankle twisted." Su Yunyan inhaled sharply, her brows knitting in pain. Our mother crouched down, carefully examining her ankle. "Oh dear, what happened?" "Driver, quickly prepare the car. We must go to the hospital for an X-ray." At that moment, I clearly heard Su Yunyan's aggrieved inner voice. "It hurts so much. But I can't tell Mom that it was Sister who deliberately tripped me. Perhaps Sister didn't mean it. She just hates me so much after all. After all, I've taken her life away." I chuckled coldly inwardly but lowered my head, taking the initiative to admit my fault. "Mom, I was paying attention while going down the stairs and tripped over my sister. It's all my fault." I took the blame, effectively stifling any questions from my mother. She lightly scolded me. "Xiaoqiu, you bounce around like a child. You must be more careful in the future." Su Lang and Su Yunyan exchanged a swift glance. It seemed they had confirmed that Su Yunyan's inner thoughts had not been tampered with. Su Yunyan forced a relieved smile. "Mom, Brother, don't blame Sister. I forgive her. We're family after all." Seeing her understanding nature, our mother chose not to say anything further. We took Su Yunyan to the hospital, where the diagnosis turned out to be a mere sprained ligament. After applying a healing ointment, she returned home that very night. Naturally, I had no intention of taking the blame for this incident. Later that evening, I heated a cup of milk and brought it to my mother's study. She was watching the home surveillance footage on the computer, appearing somewhat troubled. "Ah, how fortunate," I need not hint at her to watch it. Mom, have some milk and get some rest. When she looked up and saw me, her gaze softened slightly, and she sighed, Xiaoqiu, about what happened on the stairs. I immediately interjected. Mom, I just got home. Perhaps I inadvertently made my sister feel uneasy. She blames me, and I understand. As her older sister, it's okay to endure some grievances, as long as she feels better. That's what matters since we are family. My mother fell silent for a moment before taking my hand. Good child, I'm sorry for putting you through this. By the end of the month, we will arrange for you to officially enter the family tree. Upon learning of the recognition ceremony's arrangements, Su Yunyun felt anxious and unsettled. The clan elders chose an auspicious day. In the Su family ancestral hall, the ancestral tablets were stacked solemnly, creating an atmosphere of reverence. According to tradition, an elder must hold the sacred cup and ask the ancestors for guidance by casting the divination blocks. A positive outcome is indicated by one upright and one inverted cup. Otherwise, it signifies disapproval. The clan members took a deep breath, their expressions grave as they lifted the ancient wooden cups. They chanted softly before sincerely casting the cups onto the ground. After 3 throws, both cups landed inverted, a sign of ill omen and opposition. In that instant, my brother Su Lang beamed with an almost radiant joy. He openly displayed his delight, even exclaiming loudly, See, I told you, the ancestors do not approve.
Su Lang.
Be quiet. How dare you speak so recklessly before our ancestors? My father's expression darkened as he chastised him sharply. Su Lang sulkily closed his mouth. Yet the joy on his face remained. He even leaned over to me with a smirk. Did you see? The ancestors don't recognize you. Don't even think you can replace Yunyun in our family. Su Yunyun lowered her head, a flicker of triumph in her eyes. However, the uncle presiding over the ceremony spoke calmly. All right, let us proceed with the second inquiry.
What?
Su Lang exploded on the spot. Another throw? Why should that be necessary? Are you willing to break the rules for her? We have already received a rejection. This is clearly favoritism, attempting to offer her a backdoor. If the ancestors knew, they would surely be enraged. His words not only questioned the rules, but also openly cursed the ancestors. My father was utterly furious. You insolent fool. How dare you behave so presumptuously before our ancestors? Go to the side hall and kneel. 2 cousins quickly stepped forward, one on each side, restraining Su Lang, who continued to struggle and shout, I refuse. There's a conspiracy. You are all biased toward her.
X Lang was forcibly dragged backward.
Straining to twist his head around as he shouted incoherently, Such a family tree. I shall not partake. It was only when he was pulled out of the ancestral hall's threshold that his cousin divulged. The first inquiry was made by Su Yunyun, and only thereafter was it my turn. His face flushed crimson with rage, and at that moment, the Holy Grail was cast once more. A crisp sound echoed, striking the hearts of all present. 1 affirmation and 1 negation of the Holy Grail. The ancestors have consented. 3 consecutive times. All in agreement. My name was solemnly inscribed in the family record with a vermilion brush. I understood all too well that while a single casting of the Holy Grail might involve an element of fortune, I was acutely aware that as long as my parents acknowledged me as their daughter and their hearts inclined towards me, having my name etched onto that thin sheet of paper was merely a matter of time. Su Yunyun could only watch in disbelief as the clan elder struck through her name from the list. Her delicate frame trembled violently, her complexion as pale as a sheet, tears silently cascading down her cheeks, rendering her utterly fragile. Thus, the Heart's voice system activated once more. It matters not if I am not included in the family tree. In my heart, I shall always be my parents' daughter. Eternally a child of the Su family, this bond of kinship cannot be taken from me. An opportunity presented itself. I appended a breathtaking proclamation to the end of her seemingly heartfelt confession. After all, Su Lang and I have long since pledged our troth. Once he assumes control of the Su family, how I wish to be inscribed in that family tree will be a mere matter of his word.
Boom.
This declaration left the ancestral hall shrouded in a profound silence. My parents gazed at Su Yunyun in disbelief, then at the direction Su Lang had been taken. The venerable third uncle and the other clan elders first appeared astonished, then a torrent of fury washed over their faces. What a solemn place the ancestral hall is. What a sacred artifact the family tree represents. To be treated as a mere jest by these younger generations, harboring such rebellious and vile thoughts. The thunderous roar of the third uncle echoed, wretched spawn. Su Yunyun was left utterly bewildered, too frightened even to weep. In the Su family ancestral hall, the voices of the elders brooked no dissent. Contact her biological parents immediately and have them take her away. Su Yunyun knelt upon the ground, her countenance ashen. The elders rose in succession. The ceremony concluded. After the crowd dispersed, I approached her slowly. Congratulations. My voice was soft yet sufficiently clear. She would finally return to her biological parents. She bellowed at me, "It's all you're doing." I merely curved my lips into a faint smile, neither confirming nor denying her accusation. Upon returning to the Su residence, my parents awaited me in the living room. Their faces were ashen, evidently just emerging from the study. There, the monitoring terminals for the entire residence were located. I could only surmise that my parents had witnessed a plethora of shocking scenes. For instance, Su Lang effortlessly opening Su Yunyun's bedroom door in the dead of night, or the two of them nestled together on the living room sofa. Su Lang's fingers entwined in her hair, their posture intimate. Moreover, in the garden pavilion, the two shared a sticky embrace. My mother, summoning her strength, stood up as though to personally verify the final truth. I began to assist her in packing. Su Yunyun's door stood ajar, and my mother reached out to push it open. Inside, the two were locked in a tight embrace, lost in a passionate kiss. Su Lang's hand had even ventured beneath Su Yunyun's clothing. They were so engrossed that they failed to notice the door being pushed open. My mother's handbag fell with a thud, startling them. Su Lang whirled around, his face drained of color. Su Yunyun gasped in alarm, hurriedly tugging at her disheveled collar. My father and I stood behind, observing the entire scene. My father inhaled deeply, the last vestiges of compassion for this adopted daughter crumbling to ashes. Pack your belongings. Su Lang, your flight to America is scheduled for next Monday to continue your studies. Yunyun, your biological parents will arrive tomorrow. Dad, please don't send me away. My sister has endured hardships. She can bear it, but I cannot. What kind of life do my biological parents lead? Forcing me to leave is tantamount to sending me to my death. She suddenly pointed at me. It's her. She must be the one who plotted against us. My mother defended me. Even now, you are slandering Xiaoqiu. Since her return, she has never spoken ill of you. My father spoke in a deep voice. The Su family will cover your tuition and living expenses until you graduate from university. This is already the height of compassion. Su Yunyun's face turned ashen, and Su Lang completely lost control. Why must you tear us apart? You are like Fa Hai. You know nothing of love. It's all Xiaoqiu's fault. Ever since this disaster returned, everything has changed. My father raised his hand, delivering a resounding slap. Unrepentant, Su Lang turned his head from the blow, but continued to glare at me with malice. My mother regarded him. Su Lang, we are deeply disappointed in you. Disappointed? You are the ones who have disappointed me. All for an outsider. Who is the outsider? My father interrupted sharply. Xiaoqiu is our biological daughter. Your own sister. You haven't even welcomed your own sister home, and yet you're with Su Yunyun. I don't care. Su Lang screamed. In my heart, only Yunyun is my sister. My parents summoned the bodyguards to forcibly remove Su Lang, confining him to a small dark room. He struggled and cursed as his voice faded into the distance. Su Yunyun was likewise assisted away by the servants. As she passed by me, she whispered, "I will not let you off." When I turned back to my room, I overheard my mother choking back tears, asking, "Have we done something wrong?" My father remained silent for a long while before responding, "The fault lies in our excessive indulgence." The following morning, as I descended the stairs, I overheard the butler reporting to my parents, "Young Master Su is on a hunger strike in protest." Miss Yunyun cried all night. My mother rubbed her temples. "Let them be." My father turned to me, his gaze complicated. "Xiaoqiu, this family will rely on you from now on. Rest assured, father, I shall not disappoint you and mother." That afternoon, Su Yunyun's biological parents, my previous life's adoptive parents, entered the Su family gates. Upon their entrance, they instinctively called out to me, "What are you standing there for? Hurry and serve tea." I remained rooted to the spot. My father's expression darkened. "Mr. Wang, Mrs. Wang, This is not your home. Xiaoqiu is my daughter. Only then did the couple fall silent, their eyes greedily surveying the living room as decor. Su Yunyun stood behind them, her face a mask of resistance. I knew she was making one last stand. Indeed. She activated the Heart's voice system. If I return with them, I would rather die. I cannot endure that kind of impoverished life for even a day. Had this been the past, such words would have softened my parents' hearts. Yet this time, their expressions remained impassive. Ironically, her biological parents also heard this heartfelt declaration. Her mother twisted her ear. You owe your life to me. Wanna die? You must first earn back what you cost me. Su Yunyun stumbled back, staring in disbelief at them, then at my parents. My mother, unable to bear it any longer, turned her head away. My father spoke coldly. Enough. You may take her, but if you dare to mistreat her, we wouldn't dare. Her mother immediately donned a fawning demeanor. Before leaving, my mother slipped Su Yunyun a card. There is $1 million in here for your schooling and living expenses. The password is your birthday. Don't let them know. I thought this was the end of the matter. Until 3 days later, I saw Wang Chong, my previous life as adoptive brother, posting about his newly purchased sports car on social media. His caption read, "Finally picked up the car. Next time, I'll come to fetch my sister home." Alarm bells rang in my mind. This scene was all too familiar in my past life. They had cornered me step by step. Sure enough, the next day, Wang Chong appeared at our school gate, clad in brand new designer wear, leaning against his sports car. He shouted upon seeing me, "Xiaoqiu, brother is here to pick you up. Look, I'm rich now." Classmates turned their heads in curiosity. I turned away, my face cold, and began to walk away. Wang Chong suddenly stepped in front of me, his greasy hands nearly brushing against my arm. "Stop pretending," he shouted, his voice grating. "Yunyun has told me everything. You're just a punching bag in the Su family. No one takes you seriously." I glared at him coldly, refraining from responding. Seeing my indifference only inflated his arrogance further. "Why not come back to our hometown and live with me? I'm flush with cash now. I can guarantee you a life of luxury." He waved the car keys in his hand deliberately. "Step aside." My voice was as frigid as ice. "What else with the pretentiousness?" He scoffed, leaning in closer. "Yunyun has already arranged for you to marry my brother, and you to marry me. That's real family bonding. All the Su family's wealth will eventually belong to us." It dawned on me what Su Yunyun was scheming. She had given her adoptive parents that $1 million and was using the heart sound system to continuously plant the idea of this marriage exchange into their ears. It was a clever move, striking 2 birds with 1 stone, avenging me while continuing to siphon off the Su family's resources. "Dream on." I enunciated each word with icy precision. He attempted to persist, but fortunately, the bodyguard arrived just in time to block him at the school gate. That evening, I recounted the entire incident to my parents. My father erupted in fury. Did he really say that? Su Yunyun, Wang family, what a disgrace. My mother trembled with anger. How dare they even think of such a thing? The next day, my bodyguards doubled from 2 to 4. My father even called the Wang family to issue a warning. "If you dare to harass Xiaoqiu again, you'll know what regret feels like." The voice on the other end complied meekly. Yet, I knew this matter would not conclude so simply. Witnessing that $1 million dissipate like water in Wang Chong's hands, squandered on luxury cars and extravagant items, Su Yunyun began to panic. Initially, she clung to a glimmer of hope, believing Wang Chong would show some brotherly affection and leave her some money. But soon enough, she realized her naivety. Wang Chong not only purchased 2 sports cars but also developed a penchant for gambling, losing the remaining funds within a month. The most despairing moment came when she returned to that cramped, dilapidated home. Her adoptive parents regarded her as a cash cow, demanding she shoulder all household chores while mocking her incessantly. "Do you still think you're a young lady? You can't even handle these tasks." Any sign of discontent from her would result in her adoptive father picking up a belt to strike her. Her once meticulously cared for hands were now marred with scars and calluses. She attempted to reach out to Su Lang for help, but he had been sent abroad to a strict boarding school by his parents, where students were prohibited from using mobile phones and all communications were monitored. The letters she sent out vanished without a trace. One day at the school library, I chanced upon Su Yunyun, hiding in a corner, gnawing on a piece of bread. Her once well-groomed hair had turned dry and unruly, her skin rough and dull, and dark circles shadowed her eyes. She shot me a venomous glare before hastily leaving. At first, she would return home on weekends, but soon I noticed she preferred to stay in the dorm, eating instant noodles rather than face her family. However, trouble soon found her. One weekend, Wang Chang barged into the school, cornering Su Yunyun beneath the teaching building. "You worthless piece. Hurry up and get more money. If you could come up with $1 million, there must be more. I have no money left. I truly don't. Stop pretending." Wang Chang slapped her across the face. "The Su family is so wealthy. How can you not find any money?" A crowd of students gathered, pointing and jeering. "Look at her. She's clearly from a poor background. I heard her real parents are gamblers." All her pretentiousness crumbled under their scrutiny. Her carefully curated elegant image disintegrated in that moment. With no way out, Su Yunyun's adoptive parents devised a sinister plan. They feigned concern, luring her back home, and then locking the doors and windows. What good is all that education? Old Zhang from the neighboring village is willing to pay 30,000 in dowry. Prepare yourself. You're marrying him next week. Old Zhang was a 50-something bachelor, a heavy drinker whose 2 previous wives had fled due to his abuse. She fell to her knees, pleading, "Mom, please let me continue my studies. I promise I'll earn money to support you." "Support us?" Her father kicked her. "Now you have the chance to show your filial piety. Old Zhang will come with the bride price tomorrow, so behave yourself." With no one to turn to, she resorted to desperate measures. That day, Su Lang, just back from abroad, was taken away by the police at the airport. Simultaneously, a complaint letter was sent to my father's company. Su Yunyun accused Su Lang of rape, claiming, "He forced me. Since 3 years ago, he has used his brotherly status to coerce me into relations. I have kept the photos of the scars he left and the guarantees he wrote to me." No one could have predicted that her affair with Su Lang would be exposed in such a manner. The news reached the Su family, sending my mother into a near-fainting spell. My father was frantic, and an emergency board meeting was convened, demanding an explanation from him. Su Yunyun texted me. "Su Xiaoqiu, do you think you've won? Let me tell you, if I can't have it, no one else can." In this life, she intended to drag everyone down to hell. In court, Su Lang's demeanor chilled everyone to the bone, even in the face of his lawyer's repeated urging. He obstinately absolved Su Yunyun. "It's all my fault. I forced Yunyun." She knew she couldn't resist, so she had to comply. My mother wept in the audience, while my father's clenched fists turned blue with tension. When the lawyer presented surveillance footage of the two of them in a compromising embrace, Su Lang shockingly stated, "I was threatening her. She didn't want this at all." Sitting in the audience, I observed Su Lang's unyielding demeanor and suddenly comprehended their scheme. They aimed to extort a substantial sum from the Su family through this accusation and then flee. Indeed, during a recess, I overheard Su Yunyun whispering to Su Lang, "Once you plead guilty, we'll say you did it out of love for me. Your parents will surely pay us to protect you." Su Lang gently stroked her hair. "I'm sorry you have to endure this. Once we get the money, we can start anew abroad." They had crafted an elaborate plan but underestimated their parents' resolve. Before the final court session, my father met Su Lang privately. "It's not too late to withdraw the case. If you admit that Su Yunyun instigated you to lie, we can treat you leniently." Su Lang merely sneered. "Stop with the theatrics. I know you can't bear to see your son in prison. Prepare 50 million, and we'll withdraw the case." My mother was utterly heartbroken. How could we have raised such a son? As the trial commenced, Su Lang clung to his guilty plea. The judge repeatedly confirmed, "Are you certain you want to admit to the charge of rape?" "I am certain," Su Lang asserted firmly. Just then, my father slowly rose. "Your Honor, we respect the facts. If the evidence is conclusive, please pass judgment according to the law." Su Lang was taken aback, clearly unprepared for his parents' unwavering stance. Ultimately, Su Lang was sentenced to 7 years in prison for rape. Although Su Yunyun received 100,000 in compensation, the money was directly given to her adoptive parents, a far cry from the million they had envisioned. Ironically, because she had self-identified as a rape victim, her parents deemed her worthless and forcibly withdrew her from school, marrying her off to a 50-something bachelor for a bride price of merely 50,000. Upon learning of Su Yunyun's plight, I resolved to visit her. It was a dilapidated farmhouse where Su Yunyun, visibly pregnant, struggled to draw water from a well. Bruises marred her face, and her gait was unsteady. Upon seeing me, a flicker of resentment flashed in her eyes. "What brings you here? To mock me?" she uttered icily. At that moment, a drunken man staggered out from the house, her husband, old Zhang. Su Yunyan suddenly bestowed upon me a peculiar smile, and I instantly sensed her employing the heart voice system. My sister is the daughter of a wealthy family, with skin as tender as to yield water upon a touch. If you manage to bet her, you shall have an abundance of wealth henceforth. Old Zhang's eyes instantly sparkled with intrigue as he wobbled towards me. My bodyguard promptly stepped forward to obstruct him. Just then, Su Yunyan's phone rang. She answered, only to learn that Wang Chong had met with a grave car accident due to reckless driving, resulting in his immediate demise. Her parents were already cursing and threatening to punish her for being the harbinger of this calamity. She clutched her abdomen and crouched down, exclaiming, "My stomach hurts terribly." Observing her distress, old Zhang not only refrained from offering assistance but also berated her. "You money-grubbing fool, what are you pretending for?" Witnessing Su Yunyan's agony, I instructed my bodyguard to summon an ambulance. On our way to the hospital, she glared at me intensely, asserting, "It's all your fault." I regarded her calmly, replying, "Wang Chong's demise was a consequence of his own avarice. Your plight today is a result of your own choices." She delivered prematurely, giving birth to a frail and ailing child. Due to this complicated labor, she was left forever incapable of bearing children. Old Zhang, perceiving her as utterly devoid of value, frequently resorted to violence against her. Meanwhile, my parents resolved to leave the city, entrusting the management of the company to professional executives. My father remarked, "This city has bestowed upon us naught but sorrowful memories." Before departing for abroad, we visited Su Lang in prison. His countenance was one of desolation as he glared at me, venomously proclaiming, "Su Xiaoqiu, you wretched woman. How dare you show your face? This is all you're doing." My parents turned away, uttering not a single word more to him. As we boarded the flight to our destination overseas, my mother clasped my hand, saying, "Xiaoqiu, our family will rely on you from here on." Meanwhile, Su Lang, upon learning of Su Yunyan's misfortune, finally came to the realization that he had been deceived. He made multiple petitions for a sentence reduction, all of which were denied. After all, the confession to the charge of rape was signed in his own hand. The end. Thank you for listening. We shall meet again in the next tale.